Hey guys, so this is a very special Gen Talk here. I'm back with my kids, Josiah and Quincy Thomas, and they're very interested in studying the generations and geeking out on pretty much everything I geek out on. Like, what's up with Wolverine there? What's going on?
Today in Gen Talk, we will be talking about X-Men 97, explained by a millennial and two generation alphas.
Okay,
Well, I don't know.
okay, wait. So wait, what do you say? You claiming Gen Alpha, Josiah?
I don't know. I'm so
Yeah, he was born in 2011, so it's kind of weird.
It's very weird.
He's like a mix between it. I think
So it
there's a
could be Gen
word.
Z or Alpha.
I think there's a word like when you're in the
Cusper.
middle. Oh yeah, cusper. I think he's a cusper between Generation Z and Generation Alpha.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. And what am I again? What's my
A
generation?
cusper between Gen X and millennial.
Okay, so you guys are knowledgeable about all this. You know what you're talking about?
Obviously.
Okay. So, in other words, you think you guys are qualified to be co-hosts of Generational Talk?
Obviously, yes.
I'm pretty sure.
You can't
Yes.
even say bless you, Dad. What are you
Oh, yeah.
talking about? I just sneezed. What are you talking about? All right.
Yes, bless you.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And I think the reason why I think X-Men is a good topic is because it's a show I grew up with. And now that it's back, or has been back, and the whole entire series is finished, the first season is done, I think it's now something that you guys can claim as like part of your generation.
We have watched
Yes.
X-Men. Back in my day, we watched X-Men 97.
Yeah. I'm so happy to say that.
Yeah.
And
All right.
probably when we're older, we can make our kids watch X-Men 97 or even the original.
And say
You can
TV
make-
was good back then.
Yeah.
I promise viewers that I'm not making my kids watch X-Men.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So okay. All right. So you guys grew up with the Avengers, right? The Avengers and Justice League and the DC and Marvel stuff like Flash and the CW content. You grew up with all of that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
so like, what are your general thoughts on superhero films and shows?
So I think that the Marvel kind of has made the whole superhero films thing a bit more like normal. It was like most likely back then, superhero movies were they weren't rare, but nowadays it's more common and it's more like oh, there's a superhero movie.
Yeah. Marvel made more with the superhero movies. Now there's gonna be there's more Marvel fans because like the movies got popular, and that's kind of surprising, I guess, because Marvel had to like sell some of its things like Spider-Man to Fox, or wait, what was it?
Sony.
To Sony, yeah, they had to sell Spider-Man to Sony, but somehow now they made a bunch of newer superhero fans happy with Marvel.
And it's surprising because Marvel used to be, it was not as good as, and it might still not be as good as DC's comics, animation, and probably games.
Yeah, my reason is that Marvel live action films are good, does good in that part, but DC does more good in comics, or actually they both do good in comics, but they definitely do good in the animation.
So you guys are proving to me that you not only know stuff about the generations, but comic book movies, TV shows, and the source material. And so being Gen Alpha or Gen Z cuspers, you guys grew up with the Justice League and the Avengers, but not the X-Men, right? So did the X-Men 97 show introduce you to the X-Men, or did you have knowledge prior to that?
We did before we watched it. We did have some information because we watched the 2000s X-Men series, right? The live action one.
Yeah.
So
and
we already had knowledge about it. But I think with this one, like we have more knowledge. Like before we watched it or when we were about to watch it, I never knew that Wolverine was one of the shortest people in there.
I
doesn't-
have known. Yeah.
He doesn't look
Well-
like one of the shortest people right now. He's
Yeah.
he's towering over you guys.
I've known a lot of things about X-Men because like the 2010s and 2000s X-Men series. And like you said, there are a bunch of information that the movies don't really display.
Mhm.
And I've also gone through a whole phase where I was so super into Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah,
So I
like-
know a lot about them.
one Halloween, we dressed as X-Men characters. I think this was during the pandemic, and I was Cyclops and Josiah was Wolverine.
Yeah.
So we already had our knowledge, but the costumes were based off the movies instead of the comics. So kind of regret that.
Who is your favorite character from the X-Men team?
Before we watched the X-Men 97, I would have probably definitely said Wolverine. But now I've learned now through X-Men 97, I've learned so many new things about each character to the point where all the characters are I like all the characters equally, and it's hard to choose which one's my favorite.
Yeah, same with him. Before we watched X-Men 97, I would say Cyclops. But now, I have some favorite characters like Beast, Gambit, and, oh wait, not Beast, Nightcrawler, but Beast is still good. And including Cyclops too. Probably Rogue too. So, yeah.
But I think that if we did need to choose, my top three would probably be Cyclops, Storm, and
Oh, yes.
Beast, maybe. He's
Oh yeah, I forgot about Storm.
and Wolverine.
I love
Wolverine
Storm.
and Jean will be in the top five.
Mhm.
My favorite, I'm gonna do a top five. I'm not. This is not like we're ranking worst to best. This is just what would be in it because it's hard to rank it. It'll have Nightcrawler, Storm, Cyclops, Wolverine, and Gambit. Wait, did I mention Storm?
Yeah. I think
Okay.
so.
So if you were to review all 10 episodes, what would you say? Would you like 2 thumbs up or like give me a review, anything you want. You don't have to give it a
Or
rating.
like a
but just-
Netflix review?
Okay.
whatever,
I
just
think-
whatever, just your general thoughts of the overall series, why you like it.
Honestly, the series is great. Like I can't stop watching. Like at the end of every single episode, I was like, I need to watch another one. Like they kept keeping me engaged through all the episodes. Like I couldn't stop watching it. Like, and I'm super glad that there's gonna be another series. So I would give it a 10 out of 10.
Alright, I'm gonna use stars like the 5.
Yeah.
I give it a 5 or a 4. Yeah, no, a 5-star. Cause I think I could have watched more. Cause on some episodes I did fall asleep, but only some. I did know the whole plot of everything because of good old Screen Crush. So yeah. Also, you should check out. So yeah,
The animation was beautiful. Like
masterpiece.
like that's really I could focus on the story, but the animation really was the cherry on top. Like everyone I've shown everyone in my family who has watched X-Men had to talk about how great the animation is.
Like one time we watched it with our family, and our mom mentioned about the animation. So then after we watched the whole series again, we started learning, like watching a lot of animation videos because it was just the animation was just so good. Yeah.
So you're saying this one show, the first season of X-Men 97, brought your family together? Brought
Yeah.
the generations together, just kind of, got to remind people that, we're geeks, we love comic books, but it's also generational talk. So
Yeah.
it brought the generations together. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Thank you.
And I think the show itself kind of points to the generational dynamics of me, a lot of character dynamics, but also generations between you have Professor X and Magneto. They represent, what generation do you think they are? Let me see. It's 97 and he was a kid
Yeah.
during the Holocaust. So that would probably make him, let me see, what do you think?
Like greatest generation or what?
Sure.
That's a great guess. I say the silent
Yeah.
generation.
Silent or greatest
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
if Cyclops and characters around his age has to be boomers, because if your
Mhm.
parents are boomers, then they're
Mhm.
most likely boomers.
Yeah.
We all know
Boomers.
Wolverine's like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah.
old
Right.
stuff.
So another thing about how how X-Men 97 gave me more knowledge is that if we didn't watch it, I would say that they are boomers because to me it looked like it was based like in the like nowadays. But now since it has 97 and everything was based on 97, now I realize also the comic books. So yeah, now I realize probably an older generation.
I felt with the old series, even during the time period, I felt that the show could have had more budget, more money to make smoother animation. It was a
Yeah.
little bit stiff compared to like Batman and animated series.
Yeah.
So I love how this series took that and made it better. It had the designs that we loved, but the animation was like 1,000 times better in the color. So I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
I
like-
also love how we got to see how each character's powers were animated in its own special way. It wasn't like, just a big blast of light, but there was a lot of imagination with how the characters used their powers.
Yeah. Like you would just like the animation really gave me like 80s vibes with it.
Well, 90s vibe.
Oh yeah, never mind, 90s, sorry. Like, yeah, it really captured the 90s feeling that it left off of.
Well, you know what I'm feeling? I'm feeling the fact that it's not going to air this week. It's over.
I know.
We've been so I don't know what to do next, and I don't know. I just don't know what I'm going to do with my life until the next episode, the next season.
I know, but it should be fast.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not telling them to make it fast, but
Yeah.
hopefully it is faster because I'm pretty sure they already made some of it. So
And also when they make a season 2 for it, I hope they satisfy us with it and don't make it a complete failure. Yeah.
Well, hopefully the next episode of Gen Talk will come in before the next season of X-Men. And I think you guys should definitely be a part of it. So, like, what are some of the subjects we could talk about? Obviously, comic book stuff, generations. What are you into? We'll start with you, Quincy.
We could probably talk about like movies and like cartoon characters. Well, that goes with cartoon.
reviews.
Yeah, also talk about like movies. Probably sometimes we can talk about the different movies of the past century. Like some like movies from the 20s, the 30s,
Ooh,
the
the
40s,
20s.
the
Yeah.
60s, the 70s,
So
the
we can-
80s, the 2000s, the 2010s, and the 2020s.
So then we could see how Generation Alpha or late Gen Zer sees and describes and reviews about the movies.
Yeah,
That's a great
'cause,
idea.
Yeah, so we watched a lot of movies from past generations. Like you got us into I Love Lucy, which is like a show that I guess is silent or greatest generation person will
Greatest
watch.
Generation. Yep, Greatest
Yeah.
Generation during the 50s.
Greatest.
What about you, Josiah?
I want to talk about more psychology stuff like MBTI,
Oh.
Enneagram, and yeah.
Don't hear me a lot saying about that.
All right.
I,
All right.
I might say a few stuff though.
All right. Well, this was fun. I enjoyed this first episode with the three of us, and maybe more Gen Alpha people from your generation could join, and maybe we could talk about like, I know it's been years since the pandemic and you guys had to go back to school, but I kind of want to know like if there was a strong before and after. Like how was school like before the pandemic versus after? Not to bring back all that aura, but it is fascinating. One generational talk, we talked to the boomers, we talked to Xers, millennials, and Gen Z, but we didn't really get the Gen Alpha perspective during that time, 2020. So that's going to be fun.
Yeah,
Oh.
there could be like a playlist of like Gen Alpha talk, like a little playlist of the three of us talking
Oh.
about like Gen Alpha or millennial stuff. Cause since you're there, yeah,
All
probably
right,
like a little playlist.
Gen
'Cause
Alpha
we're gonna-
talk. I'm sensing. See, you're a good marketer. I'm sensing Gen Alpha talks, a segment. a segment of its own. You guys take the lead. All right. I like that. All right.
Thank
So that's it for this episode. And I can't wait to do the next one with you guys. Thank you for watching Generational Talk. Don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, you guys are the YouTubers. You guys watch YouTube.
Yeah.
Don't
Don't
forget
forget to subscribe. Ring that bell for more notifications for new episodes.
Also,
Gen
don't-
Alpha Dog.
also subscribe to the Thomas Bros 4.
Yeah. Also
Okay.
subscribe to
Link
Screen
in the-
Crush. I think I
Link in
mentioned
the
that.
Okay.
description.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
To check out.
Bye-bye, Josiah, Quincy, and Wolverine. Thank you.
Hola. Adios.